Before we jump into the activity, we are going to go over what the definition and examples of each part of speech are. So can anybody give me the definition for noun? Okay, great. A noun is person, place, thing, idea, or animal. Can anybody give me an example of a noun? Great. Dog is a perfect example of a noun. Okay, can anybody give me the definition of an adjective? Good. An adjective usually will be describing your nouns. Can somebody give me an example of an adjective that would describe a dog? Good. The lazy dog. Perfect. The lazy is describing the dog. Okay, now let's jump into verbs. Can anybody give me the definition of a verb? Great. It's going to be an action word, so something that we're doing. Can anybody give me an example of a verb? Good. Running. So we could say the lazy dog was running. Perfect. Now adverbs. Can somebody give me the definition of an adverb? Good. An adverb is going to be describing our verbs usually. Can anybody give me an example of an adverb specifically for running? How was the lazy dog running? Good. Slowly. A lot of times our adverbs will end in ly. The lazy dog was slowly running. Okay, prepositions. Can anybody give me the definition for a preposition? Good. We like to use anything a mouse can do to a house. So how does the mouse go in the house? Is he going around the house, in the house, under the house, over the house, below the house? There's a bunch of different words that we could use for prepositions. Let's try to think of a sentence what we could use. So, does anybody have any examples? Good. The lazy dog slowly ran around the house. Around will be your preposition because it's what they're how they're doing it. Good. Okay, conjunction. Can anybody give me an example of conjunctions? Good. Fanboys. Can anybody tell me? That was a definition. Can anybody give me an example? Good. For or and. Perfect. Okay, now our pronouns. Anybody give me an example of a pronoun? Good. It's usually going to be a word that can replace our noun. So like he, she, it, they, you, whatever you want to use instead of the noun. Okay, so now we're going to jump into our activity. So this is what everybody's paper will look like, but it'll be a bigger version. So we're going to have a section for nouns, adjectives, verbs, adverbs, preposition, conjunction, pronouns, and our paragraph section. So today with me, before we jump in, I'm going to show you guys kind of how to use it, and then we'll create one together, and then you guys will make your own in your groups. So for each section, I'm going to give you guys 15 minutes as a whole to fill out the whole paper except for the paragraph portion. So you're going to go through and think of different nouns. You're going to go through and think of adjectives that can describe the nouns that you picked. And then you're going to think of verbs, and your verbs are going to be action words that you can give to your nouns. And then adverbs are going to describe the verbs that you guys created. And then prepositions, conjunctions, and then your pronouns, you're going to think of words that can replace the nouns that you guys created. So the one that we're going to do as a class together is going to be over the park. So can anybody give me any examples of a noun? Good. Basketball court, people. Good. Dogs. There's lots of dogs walking at the park. Birds. swings, playground. Good, that's all we'll do for now. So now let's look at our adjectives kind of to describe. So a good thing that you can think of is like let's do people first. Like, how many people were there? Lots of people. Good. What about the dogs? Was there, like, you can talk about like the different kinds of dogs. How many again, if you wanted to, like the different colors. So let's do just one dog. There's a brown dog, okay. The birds. Okay, there was bluebirds, the kind of bird, good. Okay, let's just think of some random ones that would describe the park. Long, okay. Okay, now let's go to verbs. So, what are people doing there? They're playing, good, running, swinging, yelling, okay, good. Okay, now let's think of some adverbs. Loudly, slowly, quickly, good. Okay, now let's think of some prepositions. Around, like around the park, good. Through, over, under, good. Okay, now let's think of, just give me one, we'll do two conjunctions. Okay, but and. Great. Now let's think of some pronouns. He, she, they. Perfect. So we're just gonna create a sentence using these. Can anybody give me any examples of a sentence that they could create? Okay. The kids were running quickly over the, what if we did quickly through the playground? Perfect. Okay, great. So does everybody have a good idea of what this activity is? Perfect. Okay, now you guys are going to do your own activity in your table groups. You're all gonna have your paper. You'll have one big one, and then you guys will have individual lined paper for your paragraphs. You guys are gonna be doing this over school though, not the park. So I'm gonna give you guys 15 minutes, and you're going to fill in each of the sections and just think of as many words as you can to describe school. And then once that 15 minutes is up, I'll give you guys another 10 to 15 minutes to write your paragraph. Okay, now that we have everything filled out and our paragraphs are wrote, now if anybody wants to share their stories, their paragraphs about school that they wrote, I'd love to hear them. Please point out the words from your paper that you guys did use. Okay, great. Today we're going to be doing an activity over different parts of speech. The parts of speech that we will be hitting will be nouns, adjectives, verbs, adverbs, prepositions, conjunctions, and then pronouns. And at the end, then we'll be writing a paragraph. So our Oklahoma State standard is students will use nouns, verbs, adjectives, prepositions, adverbs, and pronouns to add clarity and variety to their writing. Our learning objectives are the students will be able to think of different words for each part of speech section, and the students will be able to use the words to write a paragraph.